Welcome back to Room for Rent. I'm here with Miranda Meadows, comedian and Comedy Store door guy, gal, person.
I prefer dog.
Door dog? Oh my gosh, I've never heard that.
Oh yeah, I'm a lot dog. I'm fucking a door dog.
Do you bark at people when they come to the...
Yeah.
Did Alex Hanna crown you a dog, or my dog's ass?
Yes, been certified ever since my first week of working there.
I love it.
But I grew into the dog.
Started as a puppy.
Yeah, started as a puppy.
Now you're a big dog.
Yeah, now I'm a big dog.
What's your favorite part of the Comedy Store to work?
Ooh, honestly, the lot.
Really?
I love the lot.
You want to park those fancy cars.
Well, so like I've just, I've always wanted a really nice car and I've never had one. And so parking these cars, I'm like, ooh, I have a fancy car.
For like 5 seconds.
Yeah, but then I don't. But then I know how to drive those fancy cars. So it makes me think like, oh, one day.
Oh, yeah.
I could be in one of these.
Do you have a favorite car that you've parked?
Yeah.
You don't have to say who it belongs to if you don't
Mark
want to.
Ellis, he knows this.
Oh.
He knows
All right.
this. He drives like an Audi, like
An Audi? An Audi?
Okay, this is my Midwestern.
Dude.
It's an Audi.
It's an Audi.
It's an Audi.
Whoa. It's an Audi.
That's how you know I grew up like poor. I don't know.
No,
shit.
but I had this same conversation with Renee a couple weeks ago, and he was like, it's an Audi, because I have an Audi.
Okay, bitch. All right.
Okay,
flex.
calm down. It's a 2016. It's old now. But it's
my
an
car's
Audi.
a 2005 Prius.
Yeah, well, you'll get there. Wait, Aaron, do you say Audi or Audi? What? Where are you from? Indiana, right? Pretty much the hood. Audi. Oh,
That's
yeah.
right,
Wait, why
Midwest,
did I think
though.
Indiana? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
And where are you from? Portland, right?
Yeah, Oregon. Everybody says
Yeah.
Oregon. Audi?
I-
Audi, bro.
Dude, when I moved to LA, I thought it was Oregon.
Yeah.
And it's Oregon.
I know people who are from LA who call it Oregon because people in Los Angeles don't know that there's 2 states above the state of California. They're like, wait, what? California is the West Coast. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, so I like Audis.
What is it? Is it a SUV?
I don't know. No, it's
a car.
It's a car.
Damn.
Yeah, and I really like it.
I mean, they're nice. I love my car, but it's my car's Q3, so it's the smallest SUV.
I thought you were gonna say it's a Q's, and I was like, of what?
It's a Q of rape. No, no, it's a Q3. But the nicest, if anybody ever comes into the lot that has an Audi Q8, I learned this from a valet guy at Nobu a long time ago. I was like, "What's the nicest car you've parked?" And he was like, because I was expecting him to say like the Lamborghini SUV because it was right when they first came out. And he was like, no, the Audi Q8. And I was like, really? Because I've test driven one. They're nice. Like the speedometer's like a hologram.
Did you
on the
lease
windshield.
yours?
No, I bought it.
Jesus. How?
I bought it. Dude, I have like
a job?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a door dog. I'm a big dog.
I'm a door dog, and I like Audis.
I mean, I would totally work at the Comedy Store, but I'd have to live in my Audi at that point.
Yeah.
No, but I bought it in Oregon when I was living there in 2016, and nobody in Oregon leases cars. Everybody buys, and so it's just different culture up there. So now I think if I were to get a new car, I might lease. But okay, so what I was gonna say about the Q8 is the Q8 is the same like body as the Lamborghini SUV.
Hot. I like when people call
Yeah.
cars by bodies.
Body. It's got that body. It's a big body.
Ooh.
And like a Lamborghini, if you're sitting in it, feels like you're in a race car. And the Q8 feels a little bit more like an SUV, but it drives the same. And it's $250,000 less than a Lamborghini SUV.
Damn.
So if you ever like really get into the valet parking business, you can see if
I thought
I'm
you were about
right.
to say if you ever get money.
That too.
I thought you were gonna go that route with it.
I
I'm
mean,
like, I love
it's a stepping stone.
I love the assumption is I'm gonna stay valet.
No, I just thought it was interesting because it's like, where else are you gonna drive like all these different cars?
I don't know. Probably never.
I'm never gonna be Jay Leno. Okay,
No.
I'm never gonna have all those cars.
I mean,
in
you
my
might be.
garage.
I said no too quickly.
I mean, I do
you
have the
might
chin
be.
for it, so I have the nose for it. No, but that's cool. Okay, Audi, I respect that. There's a couple nice Porsches in that lot. Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, I like the lot because you get to, freely walk around.
Yeah.
You're not tied to a seat. Also, you
air.
get to like meet these people and like
The comedians.
Yeah. You get to meet these people that are like inspirations to you. They happen to be comedians, but like some people know me by first name now, and like I have a funny, like, my most recent funny story is like with Natasha Leggero, and she's never really talked to me, and I've parked her car a few times, but this last time, she hops out of her car and she's like, "Oh, I have a spot in the OR," and I'm like, I figured that's why you were here.
Yeah.
And then her husband Moshe was like, "Here's the key. We're gonna leave by 9:45." And I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll get you a good get the fuck out of here spot." And she was like, "What's your name?"
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, "I'm Miranda."
I love that.
Yeah, and then Don Barris is walking by on Instagram Live, and he was like, "Hey, who's the girl working the lot?" And Natasha was like, "Oh, Miranda." And I was like, "Don, I already told you once, but I'll tell you again. I'll beat your ass on Instagram Live." And she was like, "Is he bothering you?" And I was like, "Sometimes." But I love Don Barris.
Oh, Don's the best. He was so funny last night because we were in. You weren't working last night.
No, I had shows in OC.
It was the OR crowd was like rough, and then right before Dawn went up, like everyone left. I want to say there were
Really?
like 10 people left in the OR. It was just like it was a light room, and Dawn goes up there and he's like doing his thing, and then he thinks that Renee Lancaster and I are in love, which is hilarious.
Such
and
a
so
funny bit.
he's made up that whole narrative.
Such a funny bit.
And Renee hates it. I'm like, hey, calm down. And
I love Renee.
so he does this whole thing. He's like, there's a love story in the back and da 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 da. And so then I said something, I do the whole like show us your dick thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And, he's like, I love talking to you. He's like, I like talking to you more than anybody else in this building sometimes. And I was like, damn, Don, like, don't air out all your grievances on me. And then he starts making fun of Renee, and he's like, Renee goes in the bathroom, and he pulls out his tiny little dick to pee. And I go, okay. And he goes, yeah, and he makes this noise. And I was like, what kind of noise does he make? And Renee's sitting right there, and he goes,
Renee does that?
no, don't.
Oh, that's so
and we
funny.
laughed so hard. Like, Renee was laughing so hard. It was so, because it was different from everything that Dawn's normally doing.
Yeah.
Like, we were all just like having a moment.
Yeah,
And
so fun.
that's what Dawn is the best for.
Dawn is
like,
the
when he's in a
best,
good
dude.
mood, oh my God. It's
Dude, for making
late
just
night at the
moments. I
OR.
took my friend there the night before Friday night, and she just moved to LA a week and a half in, and I took her to the store. We got there like 11:30.
That's
And I was
fun.
like, we gotta stay for Dawn.
Yeah.
And we stayed the whole time. That's like the second time I've stayed the whole time while working there for Dawn.
Really?
And like, yeah, because I usually I'm working or like I don't usually
you
like
gotta stay.
I mean, I know I usually stay, but like I'm usually
You gotta stay for
chatting.
the hog reveal.
Yeah, dude. One of these days, if I die before that, I'm gonna be so upset. Like before I see the cock, I'm gonna be so mad.
Well, we're gonna have to figure something out.
Yeah.
Maybe at the holiday party
It's
or
coming.
something.
It's coming up.
Santa baby put some cock under the tree. Jesus, I don't know. Yeah, but it was fun. Well, you have to stay late more often because
I stay late, but usually I'm like smoking weed in the back or
you're
like.
like down the street. And I see
Yeah.
you and I'm like, we're going to Mel's, and you're like, I'm high. Yeah, like perfect time to go.
Yeah, right. I
Um,
should go to Mel's with you guys one time.
You should. It's so fun. We had fun last night. We were like, I don't know. It was ridiculous. I don't even remember, but it was chill because it was like raining, and so
Yeah.
it's whatever. But yeah. Well, of course, I had you on the pod. Actually, you asked me to be on the pod.
I did.
Like a year ago,
I
almost.
did.
And I was like, Miranda, what's the podcast about? And you're like, I don't know. And I was like,
I
oh,
was like,
okay.
I just
cool.
like talking to you, Maria. Jesus
Aw.
Christ.
I know, and I thought about it. I was like, you know what? She had good intentions.
Yeah,
Like,
I
we'll have
did.
her on. She's
I
a
did.
good
I really
kid.
just like talking to you, and it'd be fun to
Aw.
like do it in like a professional. Is this professional? Would you consider this professional?
Dude, I'm paying for this. It's professional.
Sir.
I have no sponsors, but yeah. No, so it's good. So, and we like, it's funny because I've known you probably longer than people would think. I mean, we met,
When did we meet?
I mean, I don't know if I want to say it on the air. We could cut it out, I guess, if it's bad. We met at Flappers.
Yeah, I could imagine. us meeting there.
I can't believe either of us took this, but I think it's probably good we did back
Oh,
in the day.
no.
The hosting class.
Oh, hilarious.
Do you remember that? You
Yeah.
weren't 21 yet.
I was
was
a
the-
virgin. Do you
You
remember
were,
that?
You talked about it a lot.
Do you
Yeah.
remember that? I didn't want to talk about it, but so and so at Flappers made me talk
Yeah.
about it.
That's because that's all he talks about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got up there and you were like a lot of energy, like
Yeah,
you
it
still
was
are.
insane.
And he was like, "It's really good. It's a lot, but like you'll figure it out." And I was like, "This girl's something."
I think I figured it out.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah. of
crazy. We met
course.
at that class. Do you remember my friend Kaney?
No.
I went with
I remember
Kaney.
another gal that was in there that I met that I ended up doing some shows with, and I don't do 'em. I never see her around anymore. But yeah, I remember you. And like,
That's so funny.
I thought if this girl sticks with it, like through turning 21 and like getting to where you can like be in everywhere, I was like, you should be good.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Hey,
I mean, that was like that was before the pandemic. That was
Yeah.
like 5 years ago.
I mean, I've been doing stand-up in April. It'll be 6 years.
Yeah, my 6 years was in June.
Oh,
So,
congrats.
Yeah, it's weird because 5 years you still feel like kind of young.
Yeah.
And then 6 years you start seeing people at like open mics whenever you do go to open mics and you're like,
Yeah.
this is sad.
Yeah. I don't know how I did it.
Oh,
But like I'm glad I did it. And like before the pandemic, I was hitting like 5 to 7 open mics a day.
oh,
I hated my
I was
roommate.
at so many open
I hated my
mics.
roommate when I first started
Really?
stand up, and that's why I was out every day.
Oh, I just did it because everyone's like, if you want to get good, you have to do like 3 mics a night. And I would drive everywhere. I'd be like North Hollywood to the West Side to Hollywood to like, I was so tired. And I remember right before the pandemic hit, I told myself, I'm like, if I am working a full-time job, making good money, but working a full-time job and going and staying out until like 1 a.m. every night and getting up and doing it again the next day, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
And then
it's
the
hard.
pandemic hit, and I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Because I did a lot of Zoom comedy, like for better, for worse. And
Yeah.
but then all the work I do during the day is all remote now. So my life
Yeah.
is so much better.
So much better.
Yeah.
Like I have 2 jobs. I work during the day, and then I work at night when I work at night. But
What do you do during the day?
I do social media for like stand-up comics.
Oh,
Yeah, through a
I
company.
keep through a company.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll have to talk because that's
Yeah.
that's my job, not for comedians.
Oh,
but,
yeah?
like, I've been doing social media for like 15 years.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's why my clips look so good.
Dude, flags.
Yeah, well, we'll have to talk about that because
Yeah.
that's a tedious job, but it's a good job. It's a good job to do while you're doing comedy and like
Tedious though,
moving
but
out.
yeah, it's like really easy.
Yeah.
And like I get to work from home, and then I
Yeah.
get to go work at the store,
Yeah,
and I get to take off days to do shows. I had 2
Yeah.
shows last night. It was fun.
good,
Yeah, I did.
Very good.
I did Jesse Johnson and Friends at the Irvine Improv,
nice.
which was fun, and then I did Rec Room.
oh
was good.
good. Did
Yeah.
you just drop into the rec room or you were booked?
No, I was
You
booked.
Oh good.
And then I've been booked on that for like a month, and then Jesse hit me up on like Tuesday and was like, "Hey, I'm doing this on Friday. Do you work?" And I was like, "No." She was like, "Do you want to jump on?" And I had to drop an 8 p.m. show to do that because
good.
I was like, "I gotta do that."
Irvine's awesome.
Yeah, it
Irvine's
was
a great club.
They like loved me until the last. They didn't like my like really dark jokes, and I was like, "That sucks," because that's like a lot of my stuff.
They're a
but-
little cookie cutter out there though.
Yeah.
Like they're very family.
But I hate it because I'm
oriented.
like, it's a club, bro. Like, that's why I want to do like clubs in the Midwest. See how I do
Yeah,
there.
but you'll find a way to like crack people open too. Like
Yeah.
you'll make people like you the longer you do it. Where you just, I'm sure. I mean, you have this. I've seen you where you get a case of the like fuck yous where you get on stage. You're like, I'm gonna make these people like me.
I did that last night with
Yeah.
a guy, and he was, yeah, it was
It's
fun.
good
I
though.
just
It's so
attacked the fuck
when
out
you
of
do
him.
that. A lot of people like at year 5, or I was just talking to somebody else about this on the way here. It's like they get good and they've got maybe like 10, 15, maybe 20 like good minutes, but they can't break past the point of like understanding what an audience needs at any given moment. And
Yeah.
like I think that's what like working at the store and being at the store and stuff like that really teaches you, because you watch people who have been doing that for like 20 years. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I can like take a risk.
Yeah, and you kind of just like have to be really present to like read exactly what they want. So then you can like, if you're not doing well, you can stop and be like, all right, was it me?
Yeah.
Because I think it was me.
Yeah, or you at least saw like a couple people go up before you. You're like, it was them.
yeah.
Like last night was rough, so it's like it was them. But
I had closed out this show at the store, like Belly Room Alive, Friday night, or no, Saturday night. I think it was last week. I'm doing it again tonight where I'm going up last, and I completely changed the room where it was fucking fire. And then I got up there and made it like hella awkward, and like 3 minutes in my set, I was like, wasn't me. Come on, it had to have been me, right? It was, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, it was you, and I was like, God damn it.
But then you were the last one, right? So
Yeah.
it almost doesn't matter. It's not like you're like killing the room for everybody else. You
Yeah.
just killed it for yourself.
I killed it for myself, and then like a group of like 7 people, like a friend group, came up to me and they were like, "You were so fucking funny," and I was like feeling really bad about myself after, and they came up to me and said that, and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
okay.
It's funny too, especially when like rooms get tired and you feel like nobody's laughing, and then you leave and like 10 people come up to you and you're like, that was really funny, and you're like,
Yeah.
where were you?
Where the
Whoa,
fuck were you,
what was
bro?
going on? But well, okay, so let's get into it. I think we've shot the shit long enough.
Love
and
shooting
I
shit,
could
but-
do it for the rest of this episode with you. But we're here for a purpose. So you told me you have like a few crazy stories. I have no idea what they are. Sometimes I know a little bit about when people come on. I have no idea what they are. So you
I
could
love
tell
that.
1, 2. If we run out of time, we'll have you back on. We'll do it again. So just give me your best. Start with the best. Or if you want to go in like chronological order, some people do that too. But I want to hear like the down and dirty part of living with Miranda Meadows.
I had already mentioned that the reason why I did stand up so insanely when my first 2 years is because a girl moved in with me and I didn't like her. We weren't hanging out. She was a hoarder. It didn't work out.
What did she hoard?
Paperwork?
Oh, I mean, that
How you
sounds
gonna
like me.
have? Yeah, but like badly, badly. Like it was like Jesus paperwork. Like
Wait, what do you mean? Like the Bible?
yeah, and like little pamphlets you get from church and like yeah, and like
Did she go to church or how did she come by these pamphlets?
you know what? I don't know. We didn't really hang out like that, but she was never around on Sunday morning.
Oh, okay, so she was definitely at church.
One time I walked in, like I left the house and came back quickly because I forgot something, and she was in the kitchen on her computer. And I walk in, and there's a guy unzipping his pants on the screen, and
That's not very holy.
yeah, not holy at all. And the lesbian in me was like, I'm just in my room. Totally just drink of water.
Oh my God.
I chose to just be like, I saw nothing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you think they were just gonna have like Zoom sex in your kitchen?
I mean, hey,
That's crazy.
It was honestly, it was manifesting the pandemic.
Where's God when you need him?
God is nowhere. God doesn't know how to work the internet.
No, that's apparent. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that was like a little fun thing that I chose to ignore.
And you never confronted her about it? Like, hey, why are you fucking on the kitchen table?
No, I never confronted her about it. Because I was just going to a mic after. I was like, didn't talk about it at the mic, don't know what I was doing.
Oh, God.
Maybe I did, but I don't think I did.
I would have just to like get it off. Sometimes I do that just to get it off my
Just get it
chest. I
off.
go to a mic and I'm like, you're never going to believe what happened to me just now. And they're like, oh, God.
Yeah, so that's, yeah, now she's living in that. I moved out. It's a 2-bedroom back house in Burbank.
Okay.
She's still living in it, and she pays for both rooms, and I'm assuming because she's a hoarder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So when did you ever confront her about like the hoarding? Were you like, hey, I can't have this much God in my house? Like,
No,
what is going on?
Because she... I am an atheist. So
Like,
it was a little rough knowing one of the
you know
rooms.
this guy's not real, right?
Yeah, well, look at my paperwork. No, because she only hoarded in her room. So it was like respectable hoarding.
That's still. I mean, I have a lot of shit in my room, but that's because I have a small apartment. But I'm not a hoarder. Like I get rid of stuff over little by little.
Yeah. I mean, I do need to get rid of more than I mean, I don't really keep much.
You're a minimalist.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a cute fucking room, and I like put shit on the wall, and it's cute as fuck, and you should come see it.
I mean, anytime.
But you trying to move in?
No. I'm not trying to move in, and I'm not trying to date you. But I will hang out with you.
How many people have offered you a room from this podcast? Like,
You know what? Nobody, because I think everybody's happy with what they have now. Like there's a lot of people that come on that have podcast or like roommates from the past that were bad, and like rarely are people the bad. Like nobody wants to come on this podcast and admit that they were the bad roommate.
yeah.
So
I can admit some bad stuff.
yeah, I want to know like what it's like to live with you.
So like people think I'm fucking insane because of how I am on stage.
Yes.
But I'm a pretty regular person. Like, okay, wipe that smug look off your face.
You're pretty regular.
I live with JP Puthenvedel.
He's not regular.
Exactly.
I'm kidding.
Exactly.
JP's great.
But honestly, together we're a great fucking team. We have such an eccentric, like we have a yellow couch, pink, huge rug, like blue rug. We have a $2 bill that's for decoration.
Are you guys both in your 20s?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
By
fun.
the time you turn 30, you'll be like, I need Crate and Barrel. Like, I need neutral. I need,
Really?
like, yeah. Oh, when I was in my 20s, when I first moved to LA, I had a bright red couch. And all my, like red Solo Cup red. I had bookshelves and all that. And it was fun because it's like sort of the first time you're living on your own, like for real, like not in college. And so.
Me and JP have a hella fun
fun
apartment,
stuff.
but we work really well together.
Do you guys like share chores or like how do you split
Dude,
up that?
okay, so here's the thing. I fell in love with my ex roommate.
Okay.
I fell in love with a roommate I used to live with in
Not
2021.
not the hoarder.
Not the hoarder,
Okay.
not JP.
That would
Dear
be
God,
funny.
not JP. JP's a great, they, them, go take that virginity. Okay. But no, I fell in love with a girl who was my roommate. And that was, we had a lease for a year, and that was 9 months of hell before she, 10 months of hell before she kicked me out.
So were you in love for 10 months in hell?
Yes.
Or had you broken up and you were still living together?
We had broken up in March, and we were still living together I moved out in my birthday, April 26th.
Oh, okay. So you were only broken up for like a month.
Yeah, but it was traumatizing that
Really?
month. Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know when you fall in love with your roommate?
No.
So, you know when you fall in love with your roommate and so they just come into your room all the time, and then you break up and they think they can still come into your room at any time?
Like in a sexy way come into your room?
No, in an anxiety-ridden,
Oh, God.
awful way. I moved out on my birthday, didn't tell anybody that I was moving out because I was like, she's A, kicking me out, B, telling me that somebody is going to come and stay with her, wink, wink, for a week next week. And I was like, I don't want to fucking be here for that. Fuck that. What the fuck?
Like her new thing
yeah,
or
why
whatever?
the fuck would you do that to me,
Yeah.
you know? That's so fucked up.
How do you really feel?
Fucking
Oh my God.
bitches, man. But anyway, so I moved out on my birthday, but she came into my room the day of my birthday, beeline to my bed. I woke up I was shaking in my fucking bed. I went to bed and woke up every day after that when I'd moved out with anxiety for 2 months.
Damn.
It was awful. And
I get that though. I get it.
yeah, she just beeline to my bed, said happy birthday, turned around and walked out.
Why? Who acts like that?
Dude, it was sure, we had a really innocent, romantic falling in love together and stuff, but it was every other week we were back and forth, we're broken up, we're together, we're broken up.
I sort of
we're
remember
together.
you going through this.
Dude, I was not a good person back then. I don't
Well,
think I was a good person
it's
because I was
hard.
going through a lot of shit. Right now, I'm in a really good relationship. Shout out my girlfriend. This is her t-shirt. I slept in it. Gang, gang.
She's very open, this girl.
But she's the fucking best. So yeah, it's I even feel more I'm not even she could have sent me a text and I'm not worried about responding to it because she knows where I am and
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
When I feel like I'm always talking down to people in their 20s now because I'm in my mid 30s, and there's so many things between the ages of 30 and beyond that you realize we're just oh, why was I like that?
Dude, why did I put up with that?
But people who get mad when you don't text back right away, or I don't know,
Why
just
did I
not
put up with
having the
that?
trust, I guess. And I get that dating's competitive. If somebody's not texting you back, you're what are they doing?
Dude, my
But
ex-girlfriend.
you have to trust them.
My recent ex-girlfriend, she used to get mad at me if I didn't come over at night. It'd be a fight for 3 days.
Every night? If you didn't come over every night?
Every night. Every night.
Why would you even tolerate that?
And
If somebody was doing that to me, I'd be like, dude, I canceled a date the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy texted me, and I'm sure he's not a bad guy or whatever, but he texts me 24 hours before the date and goes, T-minus 24 hours.
Oh my God.
And I was like, no.
Disgusting. T-minus, I'm canceling.
Yeah, and I was like, oh no. And so I had 24 hours to think of it. But then the day of the date.
What was your excuse?
It
I don't
was
like time bombs.
Wednesday.
I don't like.
No, I didn't
like
respond to that one. I
timers?
was
Yeah.
like, And then the day of the date was Wednesday, so the weather was turning, you know. And I woke up to a text from him that said, just FYI, it's going to be raining off and on for the next few days. And I'm like, I don't need anybody to explain the weather to me. I don't need anybody that I've never met before
'cause
to
that's just gonna
explain.
be years down the line, it's gonna be worse.
I mean, yeah. And so then the other thing was I wasn't feeling well that day. I didn't make it up. I really thought I was coming down with a cold. And so I was like, hey, I'm really not feeling well, and the weather's is kind of crummy. Can we reschedule? And then he didn't even say like, "Oh, sorry, you don't feel well. What's wrong?" Nothing. Like he goes,
was he a dick?
"Oh," he goes, "Well, I don't really get sick, so like, let me know how you're feeling later." I'm like,
Jesus
"Bro,
Christ.
I'm not coming."
Jesus.
Like, I wouldn't want to
Christ.
get somebody sick, and if I'm not feeling my best, meeting somebody for the first time ever.
Dude, I don't
I'm
usually get
not.
sick. I don't use condoms. I'm fucking immune. Dog.
Yeah, dude.
It's
Like,
what?
I don't get AIDS. Okay.
Yeah,
like,
what?
yeah. So there's so many things. By the time you're my age, not that I'm that much older than you, there'll be so many things. Especially as a female comic, as a woman in LA, as somebody who's experiencing a lot of like relationships and ups and downs, and like you've had a lot of experience already.
And lesbians, or
And
like,
I mean, I don't have that side of it, but you just get to a point where you're like, oh, no, just no.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be a no.
it took me a while, but like, I feel like I'm finally at that point. And my girlfriend right now is like super understanding, and we were friends. We've been friends since my first girlfriend, so she's seen me through it all. Or like not really, because we weren't really that close, but we were friends. But she just knew about it. She's like, I don't want to do that to you.
When you're dating somebody, will you watch, like, if they're a guest on a podcast? Not that, I don't know if you've dated somebody that would like be on a podcast, but if they were, would you be like, oh fuck, I'm listening to every single one. Like, I want to know what they've been saying.
For her, considering she doesn't do stand up,
Yeah.
I think she would.
Yeah.
She listened to when I was on like Sarah Shank's podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, she's going to hear it. And then you're going to have some explaining to do.
good explaining. Hey, baby.
That is good. That is good. I mean, I hope she feels the same, but it sounds like she does. So that's good.
She's the best. But yes, like I fucking fell in love with a roommate, and that was awful. I mean, it was fun for my 21-year-old mind, but like we had, like the Harry Potter Jack and Jill doors to our bathroom.
Yeah.
We shared a bathroom.
Ugh.
Yeah, so like,
I don't want to share a bathroom with anybody.
yeah.
At all.
Dude, you're right. I don't give a fuck if I'm eating your pussy. I am
No,
not.
I don't. I don't want
to.
to hear you shit, see you shit, talk about the fact that you just took a shit. Like I don't like all that.
Oh yeah,
No.
dude, I got a weird. No, just kidding. I got a weird thing.
No, I mean, but also I grew up. I grew up in like a sizable house where there were 2 bathrooms for every person living in the house.
Nice.
So like you never had to experience
Yeah.
somebody else's movements.
Oh, dude, not my family. I mean,
But-
we had 3 bathrooms, but man, I shared a room with my brothers.
Oof.
Yeah, like growing up, we always had an exchange student. So I shared a room with 2 of my brothers. And when I tell you those motherfuckers are disgusting.
Oh,
yeah,
disgusting.
like boys, like kid boys.
Men's doo-doo smells worse than any animal, Aaron knows, he's laughing because he knows it's true. No, I think a lot of them, like men's farts, men's poops,
My brother
men's burps.
will Snapchat me a video of him and then put it to his butt and fart and then come up back on camera.
That's so gross.
It is hilarious, but it's disgusting.
No, the worst. Have you ever been listening to a podcast, like a comedian's podcast or something, especially one that's like, not the top of the top, and they just belch and you have like your headphones in and they just burp right into your ear and you're like, what am I listening to?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Guys, if you have a podcast, if you burp into the podcast, just remember that there's people with like noise canceling headphones on and that is you think it's traumatizing to date a woman? It's traumatizing to listen to you burp. So,
like when I don't know, when a nuke drops and it's like, poof.
Yeah. Oh, it's awful. And then they go, "Oh, sorry about that." It's like, stop.
Cut it out.
Some people, people who don't control their bodily functions like that, or they just fart and burp, and
Yeah,
there's a door guy that does a lot of that. I'm not gonna name names.
Oh, I think I probably know who.
We'll talk about it after. I don't want to name names. I don't want to embarrass him, but it is a he. But that's most.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So.
Well,
I want to know about you and JP though, living together now.
Okay.
So we got the drama out of the way, but like, I always find it hard, especially I think the older I get in roommate situations. So I have a roommate now, and people are always like, "Why do you have a roommate?" I'm like, "Because I have a nicer place because I get to have a roommate." But I find it hard to like split up the chores because I lived there and then she moved in. And so I sort of have like the things I do, or like a lot of stuff in the kitchen is mine, which I share it. But then when it comes to like, I don't think I've had 4 roommates in this place. And I don't think I've ever had a roommate that like voluntarily mopped the floor. Like I think I've always been the person to do it.
I'm definitely the person to do it.
And so, like, if you don't tell JP to do something, then will he just not do it?
Yeah.
Or how do you get past this? Because you guys are friends too, so
Yeah.
it's like you have to be careful how you like order somebody around.
Yeah. Well, for like, if we need like a big clean, I go, all right, big clean this day, this time, we're doing it. I'll sweep, you vacuum, you know, dishes. I'll do countertops, like
Okay.
that type of shit. Both of our rooms, like let's get it together. But usually it's me always instigating that.
Yeah.
But like for dishes, I had to teach JP how to clean a dish.
Really?
And it's been like we've lived together. So like after I moved out of the roommate that I was in love with and like breaking up with her and like that whole fucking waking up with anxiety, I moved in with JP and Forrest.
Okay.
Forrest Wheeler, another comic, and me and JP shared a room
Oh my God.
for 6 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
How is that?
It was, have you seen Drake and Josh?
No.
It was like that. It was sick as fuck. We had a fucking dope setup, but man, it was like,
I could barely do that in college in the dorms,
Yeah.
let alone. But I had a roommate that would chart.
yeah. Well, luckily JP, besides the fact that that motherfucker gets sick a lot, JP like doesn't really bring anyone over to hook up with.
Yeah.
Like, and I was
Does
starting.
he snore?
No,
That's good.
not really.
Snoring's the worst.
Snoring's the worst.
It's bad.
I actually hate it. My dad snores and my ex-girlfriend snored.
Shout out to Dad.
And not shout out to her. Hey.
Well, he sounds like probably an easy person to share a room with, but
It was an easy situation besides the fact that like Forrest is so funny to live with. Forrest one time, and we've talked about this, Forrest one time like put his shoes on the countertop and he was like, well, I was just setting them down to like,
oh no.
I was leaving quickly and I was like, don't put them on the fucking ground, bro. You ain't royalty like that.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like his dirty little dusty gray Vans.
I would have thrown his shoes at his face.
I yelled at them, and it was like I just moved in, and I was like, no, we ain't doing it like that, dog.
I think I'm getting nauseous. That's oh my God.
Passes out, comes back to life.
Oh my God. That's I won't even put my shoes on my bed,
Oh fuck no!
let alone a countertop. Forrest,
I'm
get your shit together.
I'm a no shoe household. Like I don't like shoes on the carpet.
Oh really?
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
don't like it. Yeah, I
Well,
don't like it.
I get it.
But JP's a
Very
really
Japanese
good
of
roommate.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I have a little bit of it in me. I don't.
Oh God.
JP's a good roommate. We work really
yeah.
well together.
Do you guys both cook or no cooking or what happens?
I do like pasta.
So you boil water. Cool.
Yeah.
Good job.
I boil water. What else do I like to make?
Do you do like chicken stir fry or anything?
Yeah, I'll
like
do
that?
chicken. I like brats. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, like,
You're real Midwest.
yeah, I'm real Midwest.
I hate any sausage.
Oof. I fucking
Real
love
sausage,
brats.
I love.
Hey.
But fake, yeah, no.
Yeah, JP will cook like, he'll like sprinkle salt on chips and like put them in the oven.
Does he know how to make like any Indian food or anything?
No, he's useless.
Because he's half, right? Or
Yeah.
he's half Indian.
JP will, JP loves a good stew.
Okay.
JP loves a
get
good
that.
stew. And then he leaves the fucking dirty dish there. Dude, my mom was visiting like a few weeks ago. She was just in town, but this was in April when my mom was visiting. JP has like a coffee pot. And my mom walks by and goes, is that mold
No.
in the coffee pot?
No.
And the coffee pot's clear and it looks like a reverse tree with moss on it. And
It's now a science experiment.
yeah, and it's
That's
really cool
crazy.
that life can grow in that. Isn't that really fucking
Life
fascinating?
finds a way.
It does.
If you don't do your dishes, life finds a
Life
way.
finds a way.
Shout out Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, that's
So I've had to teach
Wow.
JP how to clean. Like, JP didn't know that a sponge could bend around the plate, so he just cleaned the middle of the plate and not the sides. And I'm like, how does that even fucking
I
happen?
think he's lacking a little common sense.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I mean, love you, JP, but get your shit
That's
together.
crazy. Well, thank God for you, I guess. He's probably very grateful for your friendship.
No, he gets hella annoyed with me when I'm like,
Really?
dude, all these dishes are dirty. And he goes, really? Like, I tried
Do you not have a dishwasher?
No.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I'm like, if I go over somebody's house and there's something on the plate, I'm like, you're fucking gross. I like won't eat off of it. I'm like, this plate is dirty. Or I'll or I'll be like, oh fuck, and I'll have to like get over myself, and do it because I
Did you grow up with a dishwasher?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
But I
same.
grew up like, I grew up in the Midwest, but we grew up with a dishwasher, so like everything was like usually clean. Sometimes things wouldn't be clean and you just put it back in.
Yeah, exactly.
But like
especially if it's like it's like really dirty where you really need the dishwasher to get it clean. But yeah, I don't know. My current roommate, she's great. We get along great. But she
how'd you meet?
I have found a lot of my roommates on Facebook Marketplace, which has been, it's crazy to think how many I've had all good roommates. Like my first roommate I found on there.
Interview them?
Yeah. I like bring them over and give them a tour and like explain to them how their life would be if they moved in.
Cool.
But my first roommate I found on there, and my second roommate I found on there, and she worked for the CDC. She was Scottish, and she was over here in the pandemic, and like it was crazy. And then the roommate I had after that I met through her, and then my current roommate I met on Facebook Marketplace.
Are you friends with her?
My current roommate? We don't like hang out. She's come to a couple comedy shows, and we'll hang out at home a little bit now and then, but we're both like pretty busy. And I think when we're both kind of like people when we're home, we kind of just do our own thing. And so we come together once in a while. Yeah,
that's how JP and I are. Like we're both very busy, but we find like time to overlap. Yeah. Like we always are pitching jokes, which is really nice to live with the comic. We're always pitching jokes, or we're doing like writing games, or we'll search like a random word and we'll write a joke off of that word.
That's fun.
Yeah, so that's fun. Or like late at night when I get home from the store, we just finished Hacks. Mm-hmm. So we watch like TV shows together.
Yeah.
We'll also like get shitty food together and like eat ice cream.
That's the best. The best is when you have a roommate that you can like actually like share meals with and stuff. Yeah. Because you guys are into the same things.
I do really like fun. Love living with JP.
Yeah.
It's nice. Good. We have like a good understanding of like, we know each other really well, like too well sometimes. And then like there are times like where like we hang out a lot and sometimes I need space, and like we both get that where we're like, we need to be alone. Well,
you're both pretty like copacetic in your own ways. Like you have unique personalities, both of you. Like not in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. But you guys are both like pretty easygoing. There's a lot of people that are in comedy that I wouldn't even go have lunch with. Let alone, like, and you guys are both pretty chill. But yeah, but what I was gonna say about my current roommate is I have a dishwasher. Like I live in like a nice place, and she hand washes everything. Mm-hmm. And I told her when she moved, I said, you don't have to do that. Like you can use the dishwasher, run as much as you want. Like I don't care, because she cooks more than I do. Mm-hmm. And she's like, no, I grew up like washing my dishes. That's just what I do. But it takes up space on the counter. That's the one thing where I'm like, I don't care that she leaves it there or whatever. You gotta let them dry, but I need some space.
Yeah, and you're like, there's a fucking dishwasher right there.
I feel like Brian Holtzman. I need some space, but so that's the one thing where I'm like, but I've never had a roommate. Here's the crazy thing: I've never had a roommate that drinks coffee like it at home.
Oh yeah.
Like my last roommate, she would go and get Starbucks, but I have an espresso machine and I use it every day religiously. Like I get up in the morning and I fucking do the thing, and none of my other roommates have drank coffee. Well, I guess my Scottish one, she did it over like, like the little thing you'd take camping and you put it on the stove and it bubbles up.
Yeah.
She would do that, but not even every day. She drank a lot of tea. And then my current roommate, like, I think she drinks coffee, but not at home. It's so weird.
You're like, I don't know.
Because I'm like, hey, we could split the price of the Nespresso pods. Yeah. Like, you're welcome to use this. Like, my house is your house, whatever. And nobody's ever taken me up on it. And Nespresso's good. Have you ever had the Nespresso pods?
But not good enough for your roommates.
I know. I thought it was like a nice thing to have. And they're like, we're good.
I don't like coffee, so I'm like.
You don't like coffee at all?
I'd probably be a good roommate to you.
No, I want somebody that like enjoys coffee. I want to make you a latte, okay?
All I want is a roommate that will love like I do.
I just want somebody that wants to take a good morning dump after coffee. No, this is a lot of poop talk on this episode, but no, because okay, here's the thing. I gotta tell you this is completely off topic, but if by chance we ever live together, I'm gonna make you like coffee, because like this time of year especially, oh yeah. What are you drinking right now?
Iced chai latte.
Oh, okay. I was like, it looks like coffee.
I don't like coffee.
I'll make you like it.
No, people say that. Ooh, girls have told me that. Ooh, if they told me that and then they fingered me and then I don't like coffee.
I'll leave my fingers to myself, but
yeah, sure. Not after you make me coffee.
Every lesbian wants to turn a straight woman. Every single one.
Hey, I've been doing this thing recently where I turn straight girls gay.
Yeah, all lesbians are so proud of it. They all want to tell you about their conquest of the straight woman. I know it. I've lived it. I haven't experienced it, but I'm
like Jesus turning water into wine. I'm turning straight girls into mine.
Do you want to hear a funny story about that, actually? So my mom was living in my hometown, but she was living in this like little rental house. And there were these two really nice, wonderful lesbian women that lived across the street. And one of them was definitely like old school lesbian, like had been married, had a couple kids, then was like, fuck this, I want to live my truth, whatever.
Ooh.
Very cool. But very like old school lesbian
Classic
in that way,
lesbian,
right?
yeah.
And then she got with a really young, like 25-year-old hottie lesbian.
Young and old gays.
Yeah. So they were like maybe 15, 20-year difference, whatever.
Ooh.
And they lived together, and there was a big snowstorm. And like in Oregon, there's probably a snowstorm, I don't know, a big one once every like 4 or 5 years. It's not like where you're from, where it's like every year.
Yeah.
And so we were all snowed in, and like they came out and they volunteered to like shovel the driveway and everything. It was like real move, you know?
Yeah.
And so then my mom was like,
moves.
oh, you guys did this. Like, why don't you come over and like we're going to drink and like have fun or whatever. And it was, for whatever reason that year, we all got really hooked on like peppermint schnapps. And so we were putting it, and like we were like sledding down the hill and Tupperware. I mean, it was like a weird time.
With the lesbians?
It was so long ago, yeah.
So fun.
So then we're all in the house, and the
lesbians like to slide down hills.
I bet they do. And so we're all in my mom's house, and the younger lesbian is talking about how many straight women she's had sex with.
Nice.
And she just keeps going like this. She's like, I've probably fucked 50 straight women or whatever. And I was like, at the time, I was still in college, I think, and I was like, wow, this is a real learning experience for me. Like, this woman's really proud of what she's accomplished. Yeah. And so she's doing all that, and then she kind of starts coming on to my mom. And my mom gets hit on by lesbians way more than I do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get hit on, like, I get hit on by an insane amount of black guys, and every once in a while, some good straight white guys. And that's it. I never get, it's like a very specific thing. And
nice. Good for you.
That's so weird. And so she starts coming on to my mom, and she's like, yeah, come on, like, you know you want to, whatever. And my mom is not homophobic at all, but she is so not interested in like experimenting where like she's kind of old school in that way. And so she got so scared, and she was so drunk. She comes over and hugs me and goes, Maria, I just want to go to Africa and adopt a baby. Yeah. And I was like, is that like the straightest thing you could think of to go do in the moment? Because I think it's pretty gay.
I was like, that is the gayest fucking thing you could do.
Yeah, and I was like, Mom, it's okay. Like, we go to bed. Like, I think it's time to call it a night.
The gayest thing you could do.
So funny. But yeah, so that was probably the only time like I've been in a situation where like the lesbians really thought they were going to get to the straight ladies, and it didn't work.
Dude, I've been thinking about how adoption is super gay.
Super gay.
Super gay.
It was like the number one way for a while.
I was trying to like work on something about how like you shouldn't like put your kids, like don't abandon your kids because I'm going to make them gay.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to make them gay, and then your kids are going to be gay. You want your kids to be gay? Fucking keep them. Or don't even have them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, somebody has a joke about like forcing your kids to go to drag shows, and it's like, you don't want your kids to be gay? Force them to go to something, because if you force a kid to do something, then they don't want to do it. Yeah. I can't remember whose joke that was, but I think it's somebody at the store or something. Yeah, it's fun. So do you have any other crazy story? We've got like 5 minutes left. Okay. You got any other fun little tidbits? We can also have you back on the pod. Dude,
I luckily like didn't go to college, so I didn't have like that.
Oh yeah, that's right. You just came right out here. That's why you had the crazy roommate that you fell in love with. Like, that's your like crazy college roommate experience. Like, I had a couple weird college roommate deals. Not like that, but
I don't know. I think like my family lived in a trailer for a little bit when I was a kid.
Okay.
Growing up, and then we also like lived with my grandma in her house.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like just like the craziness of like not knowing your parents not knowing where you are at all,
Mm-hmm.
but like expecting you to be home at dinner time because you're like,
That's like the old school, like
Yeah.
life of a child.
Yeah.
It never happens now.
yeah. So like
Yeah.
I feel like I was like the last generation of that shit, which was nice.
How old are you?
24.
Yeah, I mean, even still, like, I'm surprised that you lived like that at all.
Yeah.
Kinda. My parents always knew where I was, though. They were a little,
Yeah?
like, they were very, like, cautious in that. They didn't trust anybody.
Did you ever like live in a really small house with your family?
No. I grew up in a 12,000 square foot house with an elevator on 60 acres in the
What?
boonies.
You had an elevator in your
I
house?
did. I'll show you
You
pictures.
would have an
I
elevator
did.
in your fucking
well, but
house.
here's the thing. So both my parents are like came from nothing. Like my dad like started a business and it was very successful. And so when my parents got married, they like my dad had this dream of like building a huge house on a big piece of property, and like
Nice.
I think they bought 60 acres in Oregon in 1986 for like
Nice.
$400,000.
Nice.
Like that's unheard of.
Yeah,
now.
my park built our house too. Like we lived in a trailer park.
And which is
my
cool
grandma
because it's like it's yours.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So I never thought like I knew I lived in a bigger house than everybody else growing up, but I never thought like, oh, I'm so much better than you because I live in this giant house. Like I was always kind of like one of my best friends like very early on lived across the street, and I lived in like on a farm street. So everybody had cows and horses and pigs and whatever. And she her family raised Arabian racehorses. And they had all these bunnies, like they had all this stuff. And so I would go over to her house after school sometimes. It was like literally across the street. And they lived in a really small house, but they lived on a lot of property. And so I would go in her house, and to me it felt so cozy. Like, because it was small and like you knew where everybody was in the house at any given moment because you could just look around and see them. And I didn't have that. And so I would come home and tell my mom, like, can we live in a smaller house? Like, Carrie's house is really small and cozy and nice. And she's like, why would you want that? And I was like, because it's nice.
Yeah,
like,
you get
it
to
felt
see your family.
When you're a kid and everything feels big, it's like her house felt like a fort to me.
Yeah.
You know, where you're like, okay, we're in the fort. Like, we're here.
Yeah.
It's cozy. It's cool. And then you come home and it's like you can hear your echo down the hallway or whatever.
And it's just like, hello, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping.
Exactly. Like I had a piano that like played itself and
Jesus Christ.
secret doors.
Oh my
and
God.
We don't own it anymore. If we did, I would fly everybody out
Yeah,
or whatever.
that's
And I
sick
wouldn't
as
fly
fuck.
everybody, but I'd be like, hey, we're gonna have like a blowout like
yeah.
comedy thing or something.
That'd be sick as fuck. Dude, I completely forgot to talk about how I like lived with exchange students from the time I was 6 to 18.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
And my uncle lived with us, and I got molested by him. So
oh yeah, well, we can say that for the next. Say that for the next. What a way to end. Let's end it on what country were the exchange students from?
Germany,
Okay.
Denmark,
Okay.
Switzerland, Chile, and China.
Okay, I
Oh,
had
we
a
had a few
Japanese
from-
exchange student
Really?
in high school. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, she was really homesick the whole time, so I
Yeah.
don't think she enjoyed herself. And she probably also was like, "This house is way too big."
Right?
Like,
Do you still keep up with her?
no, nope. Whatever. Things happen. It was a long time ago. I mean,
Yeah.
I was in high school almost 20 years ago,
Yeah, wow.
15 years ago, I guess. So yeah. But on that note, we have to wrap it up. On the note of Maria's really old, let's wrap it up. Well, it was great having you on.
Thanks for having
I
me.
feel like I got to know you so much better, and I already know you like kind of well.
Yeah,
so
it was fun. It was nice to talk to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like in a non-comedy
Yeah.
setting where you're like yelling at people where the bathroom is.
Yeah, we're getting distracted by work or something.
Yeah, it was good. Okay, so tell people into that camera where they can find you on the internet and anything else you want to plug.
Bruh, you can find me on Instagram at Miranda Meadows with 2 S's at the end of Meadows. Meadows like a field. You can't fuck it up. Comic Wars at the Hollywood Improv, December 4th, 9 p.m. Come through, roast battle show. Shenanigans, December 9th. You like Jackass? You like Fear Factor? Come on out. Come on out to Shenanigans, motherfuckers. And hey, if you want to watch a little time travel baseball movie, check out Tomorrow's Game. My first lead role, I play a girl in the 1950s before I had sex.
What is that on?
It's on Voodoo Amazon.
Oh, okay.
You can watch it honestly anywhere.
Damn, girl, you have credits now.
Whatever.
You've seen her on Amazon.
Whatever.
Well, thanks for coming on. You can find this episode, Room for Rent, on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, YouTube, on my YouTube, which is Maria Bruggere. And you can also follow me at Maria Bruggere, MariaBruggere.
Spell it out, bitch.
On all the things, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and beyond, and at Room for Rent Pod on all of those as well.
Hey.
Trying to put episodes out every other Wednesday. We'll see how it goes with the holiday season coming up, but we love you so much. Please like, share, subscribe, tell everybody about it. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.